Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to introduce my friend, the guy that almost punched me in the face, Tony Mack.
Oh, man. Thank you for having me. Jeff Willie, it's always a pleasure. I remember a year ago I wanted to get into public speaking, and this man, he helped me out a lot, and then hired a few other public speaking coaches, and now here we are doing my first keynote speech, The Power of the Jab. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt stuck? Like you're going backwards, but you're not really moving forward either. At one point you had momentum. You were sharp, you were focused, you were disciplined, you had structure. But somewhere along the way, your momentum slowed down. Here's what I've learned. You're not stuck in life because of bad luck. You're not stuck in life because of bad breaks. You're stuck because you stopped doing something small, something basic, something fundamental. And the moment you abandon the basics, that's when chaos moves in. You see, in boxing, we don't call that bad luck. We call that not using your jab. You see, the jab is the most important punch in boxing. It's the first punch I teach in boxing. It's your offense, it's your defense. It creates rhythm, structure, distance. And the moment you understand boxing, you realize something deeper. Without a solid jab, there is no order. And without order, there is chaos. You see, if I don't have the basic fundamentals of the jab, the fight turned chaotic. I'm guessing instead of thinking. I'm reacting instead of controlling. I'm surviving instead of winning. And this all became real for me in 2014. I was in training camp with 2 future world champions. I will never forget that day. The gym was quiet. You could feel the tension in the air. We had 12 rounds scheduled. The first round, I'm trying to land my best punch, my right hand. That was my bread and butter. It was beautiful. Used to knock people out with it all the time. So look, I throw a double jab, and then boom, overhand right. And it landed perfectly on top of his head. And instantly, I felt it. The worst pain I ever felt in my life. Sharp pain, throbbing pain. And I immediately got scared. So many negative thoughts came to my head. I'm about to lose money. My coach might stop believing in me. My momentum is gone. My boxing promoter might drop me. But I didn't quit. I finished the round. And I went back to my corner. I told my coach, I said, "Coach, I think I hurt my right hand." He looked at me and said, "Are you good? Can you keep going?" And in that moment, I had a decision to make. Too much was on the line. 2 big fights coming up. So I said yes. And then he gave me the simplest instructions. Stay on your jab. Use your left hand only. No complicated strategy. Just stay on your jab. So I went back out there, hurt, in pain, negative thoughts in my head, mentally tired, sparring 2 different styles, 2 different high-level fighters. But I committed to my jab. And something started to happen. I found my distance. I found my rhythm. I felt controlled. I felt calm and I felt protected. And especially in the middle rounds, it hit me. The jab isn't just a setup punch. It's structure. It's discipline. It's control in the middle of chaos. That day, I stayed in there for 12 rounds with a hurt hand. I went home, I iced my hand, I took ibuprofen. I thought it was just another boxing injury. I thought nothing of it. Then the next day, I trained again. My hand was still swollen. It was still hurting, but I pushed through it. Then the day after that, the swelling didn't go down. It was even worse. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor took an x-ray. He looked at me and said, "Tony, you shattered your hand." Using the right hand, using a knockout, I shattered trying to land the best punch. I shattered my hand. And they immediately put me in a cast. I was out for 6 weeks. I missed the opportunity. And it hurt. That was painful. But during those 6 weeks, my coach said something that was a game changer. He said, "Tony, we are not slowing down. We're going to perfect that jab." So for 6 weeks straight, that's all we worked on. Heavy bag, shadow boxing, footwork, movement, over and over and over and over again. Boring drills build brilliant skills. And all we did was work on that jab. And when my hand healed, my jab was more dominant, it was sharper, it was stronger, and that jab carried me through the rest of my career. See, what started as an injury became a specialization. And what started as a limitation became a weapon. And I realized something bigger, something deeper, that boxing was not teaching me how to fight. It was teaching me how to win. Like I said, and that jab carried me to a professional record. 13 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. And that loss is suspect, I swear. It was a war, I promise you. we went to war. But one of my favorite fighters, Andre Ward, he said it best. The jab will take you to the mountaintop. He was an Olympian. He was undefeated, a world champion. He did not lose a fight since he was 9 years old. Why? Because he mastered the fundamentals. He mastered the basics. And here's the truth. When you don't master the fundamentals, that's when everything falls apart. That's when life gets chaotic. Look at Mike Tyson, one of the youngest heavyweight champions in history. Talent that most people can only dream of. Explosive power, speed, confidence, trained relentlessly. But when his coach, the legendary coach Customato, when he died, Mike Tyson drifted away from the structure that built him. The partying increased. The distractions started coming his way. Stopped training like he used to. He had millions and millions and millions of dollars and eventually lost all of it, or close to all of it. Why? Because he stopped doing the basics. He stopped the fundamentals. Success is very simple, because talent can make you successful, but only discipline can sustain it. That's not just boxing. That's life, and that's business. You see, Warren Buffett He had one of the greatest financial careers in history, doing the small things constantly for decades, over and over again, using his jab. What was Warren Buffett's jab? Looking at the numbers, reading the reports, constantly thinking, constantly making smart investments, taking smart risks, winning daily, not looking for knockouts. In business, success runs on the same principle. Whether you own it, you lead it, or you're responsible for moving it forward. If I drift from the fundamentals, if I stop doing the basics, if I abandon structure, I don't get freedom. I get chaos. So for me, what is my jab in business? Showing up early, developing my team, building relationships, looking at the numbers, constantly reading, constantly learning, constantly taking risks, not looking for knockouts, winning daily. And I had to learn that the hard way. Back in 2021, I opened a second Tony Mack Elite location. I was chasing money. I was chasing expansion, but I didn't have structure. I didn't have systems. And day by day, I was losing it. I wasn't sleeping. I was stressed. The numbers just weren't looking right. So I hired a business coach. She looked at everything. She went over everything with me. She looked at the numbers and she told me straight up, Tony, you're going to go broke trying to keep the gym open. And that hit me. And I didn't want to quit because she suggested I shut it down. I was like, no, I'm about to see it through. I want to see it through. And I said, I didn't want to quit. I didn't want to give up. But then she gave me a word or a phrase, a word that changed everything. Course correction. She said, you're not quitting. You're simply making a course correction. And eventually I listened to her. I shut it down. And the moment I did that, everything shifted. I went back to my first gym and went back to the fundamentals. I went back to the basics that built me. And everything just went skyrocket. More members started coming through the door. My gym grew. High-level NFL players like Micah Parsons, Amari Cooper, and countless of Dallas Cowboys started coming my way. And NFL players around the entire league started training with me here in Allen, Texas. They found me in Allen, Texas, and I built the NFL community. My coaching staff grew. I have high-level coaches working with me, and more business opportunities started arising. I partnered with Tower Club Dallas. I got hired as the head coach in Team Boxing League. Countless of business opportunities come my way because I went back to the basics. I went back to the fundamentals. You see, life works the same way. We'll fall apart. Momentum will slow down. You will get punched in the mouth. Disappointments will happen. But your jab, what's your jab? That's your consistency. That's your discipline. That's your faith. That's your jab. You don't need more energy. You need clarity. We're not trying to knock life out with one punch. We're trying to win daily. Jim Rohn, one of my favorite, I say he's one of my ambassadors. I listen to him every day. He said, don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for things to be easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for fewer challenges. Wish for wisdom. And I love that part because when you ask for wisdom, God freely gives it. So let me ask you a question. What's your jab? What's the small things you know you should be doing that you stop doing? Because you don't need a breakthrough. You don't need a miracle. You need your jab. We're not trying to knock life out with one punch. We're trying to win daily, one round at a time, one action at a time, one jab at a time. Thank you. Thank you.